start of a season. And for Boston College, they started 4-1. They're now at 5-5. They need a win today or next week to get to a bowl in Bill O'Brien's first year. And some good yardage on the opening kickoff return for BC's Jaden McGowan out across the 30. North Carolina won the toss and deferred. And here is Grayson James, his third start. Obviously, the tumultuous departure of Tommy Castellanos has put James in a position where he is the guy, and he can throw the ball pretty well. We watched walkthrough yesterday. Yeah. He's got a nice arm.
He does have a nice arm. What the crazy part about this whole situation is James actually won the starting job. He was injured, was out for 6 weeks in training.
Kye Robichaux is going to be a busy man today, running into the teeth of the Tar Heel defense. And he picks up about 5 yards on the opening carry for BC.
This is going to be interesting to see how does North Carolina stop the running between the tackles. They have 2 different running backs. Robichaux runs between the tackles. Ward is a more outside zone runner.
2 wide receivers to the top of the screen for the Eagles on 2nd and 5, but again it's Robichaux, and he's met by Javari Ritzie at the line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd down. These 2 offenses, Steve, run the ball more than anybody else in the league. We expect to see that today.
They run the football extremely well, both teams. They know their identity. There's no guessing game. The biggest issue has to be on both defensive coordinators to understand how do we get these guys to pass the football. That's going to be the challenge of the day.
Trayshawn Ward, who moves away from the quarterback. First pass of the game, and it's to Ward across the 40 for the first down. BC moves the chains on the opening possession with Jakeem Harris ushering him out of bounds along with Amari Campbell.
That's a great job. He gets him in motion. That allows the quarterback to identify and confirm where he's going before the snap of the football.
BC getting to the line quick. First carry for Ward, and he will take it right just shy of midfield to the 49.
This is going to be an interesting football game because it's so windy and a little bit of the rain. The rain has stopped, so that plays in the benefit of Boston College because they feel confident in Grayson James throwing the football over Chapel Hill's Jacoby because he has not been a starting quarterback. He's their 3rd-string quarterback.
Last week, Grayson James was playing about 15 minutes from where he grew up, just outside of Dallas. That's complete down to Lewis Bond. Boston College on the march inside the 30 on their opening possession.
Look at this receiver running an outstanding route. Run a little mesh route, goes outside, runs the corner, wide open. Did not do a good job of exchanging who has who on the Chapel Hill's defense, and Boston College benefits.
47th catch of the year for Lewis Bond. He's the leading receiver. Chatting with Will Long, the offensive coordinator and play caller, about Lewis yesterday. Talked about how professional and reliable he is for BC. Now back to the ground with Robichaux. And a good positive push from that BC offensive line.
Being very patient, looking at the defensive line, ton of guys up there, almost 6 or 7 guys in the box, and yet he still gets to pick his poison on which gap he's gonna take.
Robichaux was the ACC running back of the week 2 weeks ago for his performance against Syracuse. Obviously, last week's ACC running back of the week is forced to watch from the sideline as BC chews up the clock here in the opening drive of the game. Again, they give to Robichaux, and a little pressure in the backfield. Power Eccles and Desmond Evans with good penetration.
See Bond going in motion. That lets the quarterback know, are they in zone or man coverage? They're in zone coverage with the Mike linebacker kind of pushing up to the line of scrimmage. They're trying to slow down this prolific running game that Boston College has going on right now.
I would suspect that Bill O'Brien told Will Long that this is a quattro situation. On 3rd and 7, this BC team does not kick field goals, and they create a 4th and manageable as Trayshawn Ward just shy of the first down marker. There's no hesitation here whatsoever. This is a go-for-it obvious scenario for BC.
Absolutely. You got a little Texas angle by the running back. He motions outside Ward, and then that isolates the linebacker one-on-one. Quarterback makes a great read, but also, too, be aware, Harris was open on the shallow corner. I would expect they go back to that play at some point in time because they missed an opportunity.
BC 13 of 24 this year on fourth down. They went for it 6 times last week. This is fourth and about 1.5. James completes it.
Ooh, might be short.
The spot is good enough for the first down to the tight end, Jeremiah Franklin.
Look at Franklin, goes inside Harris. The way Harris is being used, he's looking, what they call it a pick place for defensive players. Offensive players call it a rub route. And they are doing a really good job, Boston College, of setting up little plays, making the defense step up, anxious, and read and make the hesitation.
James is 4 for 4, but he gives it to Robichaux for the 5th time. Not much there for Kye on that play. Already 5.5 minutes and counting off the clock here in the opening quarter.
They've run a little calling the plays at the line of scrimmage. Now they're huddling up, muddle huddle, and then Tar Heels are looking to see. The biggest issue is going to be right now as they eat away on this clock. Who on the defensive line is going to start putting their hands on their hips to indicate that they're tired?
Jeff Collins can dial something up with his defense. James looking to the end zone. He's got Robichaux.
Oh.
There is a flag down, and it's going to be offensive interference. This is coming back.
I think it's on Harris.
Pass interference. Offense, number 4. 15-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Justin Elliott, the referee today.
I thought those were actually a great play. Great
Take
play
a look.
design. Goes in motion, gives an indication. Oh, no. I'm not sure about that one.
He didn't even make contact with
Sure
the guy that
didn't.
was guarding Robichaux.
Goes in motion.
But he was blocking his man when the ball was in the air.
Well, that's one of those. That's a play where the corner is handsy. So he's just fighting through. I'm speaking also as a former wide receiver, so I'm a bit biased.
You call it like you see it. You see the whole field, and you got respect for everybody. I've known that ever since I met you. Grayson James throws it to a guy who was tackled, and Reed Harris must have slipped. There's no flag, and it'll be 3rd and 25. A drive that was seemingly headed to victory is now looking dicey because 3rd and 25 is not where BC thrives.
That's not where they thrive, but also, too, I didn't realize you're allowed to be tackled without the football when you're a wide receiver going against a corner. Maybe that's a new technique they just started.
BC's only attempted 2 field goals this year. They've snapped it in field goal formation 3 times. They've made one, they've missed one, and they've had a bad snap. On 3rd and 25 from the 31, James floats it downfield. Oh! It's the former Tar Heel Kamari Morales who cannot make the catch. And it's 4th down, and what does Bill O'Brien do here?
He's going to have to probably kick the field goal. You can see on Harris, though, they are isolating Harris and making sure, number 2, they may have exploited a possibility with the safety. This is a guy you can pick on a little bit. They used the running back, they used the tight end.
Fewest field goals in the country this year, Steve, and Liam Connor looking to make a career-long 49-yarder to cap the opening drive. He's got good leg, and he's got it. What a kick.
Good kick.
Liam Connor, his career long in high school was 48. His career long in college was 45. Is the guy for this North Carolina team. He says, we're ready for the cold weather. We've been practicing early in the mornings in the 40s. A little different up here as Connor kicks it. No Nate McCollum today for Carolina, so this is Chris Culliver, and he is brought down inside his own 15. It's a long field for Jacoby Criswell. But first, let's go back to the studio with Mike Yam. Mike? Great stuff, Mike. Trust you'll keep us posted on what's happening down in Coral Gables. Meanwhile, Omarion Hampton has the first of his many carries of the day. But let's talk about Jacoby Criswell. He's made pretty good decisions recently. Didn't have his best game last week, but they like how he's managed the offense. He's got over 2,000 yards passing.
Yeah, he's not gonna kill you with his arm, but his decision-making is being exactly what you want from a backup quarterback. He's not gonna get you in trouble, but he'll help you get out of some trouble.
First throw of the day, J.J. Jones. That's a pickup of 7 on 2nd and 6, brought down by Davion Crouch. First down, UNC.
It's a great job of reading the zone coverage, making sure that he makes a good decision and delivers a catchable football.
Hampton carried the ball 35 times last week. He had 183 yards after contact.
He's a man on a mission.
A couple yards after contact there. And a pickup of about 3. Mack Brown has had quite the college football journey. But I can't imagine a season where he's experienced more adversity in different ways this year. I mean, obviously the tragedy that the program has had to endure and deal with, fight through. By the way, Kobe Paysor is wearing number 13 today in honor of Tylee Craft. Criswell was looking for Paysor, but he was well covered by the freshman Ashton McShane, and Criswell had nowhere to go. He's brought down back at his 22-yard line.
It's going to be a big task for Tar Heels offensive line to be able to contain Boston's college pass rush. They want to get a lot of pressure and stop the running game and make them get behind the chains and have to throw the football.
It's 3rd and 11. Eagles only rush 3. And it's complete, but well short of the first down. Second catch for J.J. Jones, but the Tar Heels will have to punt.
That's not going to get it done because you can see the pressure by the defensive line, and going through taking your check downs when you have to go so far is not going to bode well and turn this into a long football game for the Tar Heels offensively.
So the Eagles, with a good drive, get 3 points out of it, just their second made field goal of the year. And then the Tar Heels get 1 first down. But then BC's defense stiffens up. Tom Maginnis' punt, brought in by Isaiah Ferris. To Phelan to stun the Miami Hurricanes down at the Orange Bowl. One of the greatest plays in the history of college football. Kye Robichaux gets undercut by Caleb Cost. I can still hear Dan Davis yelling, "He did it! He did it! Flutie did it!" with Gino Capoletti in the background on Boston radio. Musburger had a legendary call on the network the day after Thanksgiving. Everyone in the country was watching. Everyone remembers where they were for that iconic moment.
Yes, I was 5 years old. I was on 126 in Avalon in Los Angeles, California.
Grayson James completes it to Lewis Bond. And this will set up 3rd and about 5. Look at the numbers for Doug Flutie and Bernie Kosar on that memorable day in Miami.
Look at those hair. Look at the hair on those two.
I look at the numbers, you look at the hair.
Yeah, I don't have any hair, so I'm always looking at
47. And Bernie Kosar obviously had an unbelievable game as well. They scored the go-ahead touchdown with 28 seconds left. And then Flutie took over after a touchback at his own 20. 4 plays later. Flutie to Phelan. No time left. Flutie won the Heisman that year. The votes had already been cast before that game. He would have won it even without the Hail Mary. And on 3rd down, there's a late flag in the backfield.
Looking like a late hit on the quarterback.
Franklin has first down yardage. We'll see if they get another 15.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. Defense, number 93. 15-yard penalty added to the end of the play. Automatic, first down.
Colby Cowan, the guilty party.
A lot of right there. Mouthpiece.
There have been more vicious roughing the passer penalties in the history of football, but I think it's the right call.
Yeah, he impeded his vision after the throw.
Just an unnecessary shot to the head, too.
Yeah.
Takes it to the 40-yard line of North Carolina. BC already with a 3-0 lead. If you joined us late, the Eagles made their second and by far longest field goal of the season. Connor from 49. It looked like the Eagles had a touchdown in the opening drive, but it was called back due to an offensive pass interference.
One of the things I'm watching is Chapel Hill is doing a really good job of trying to neutralize the run game. However, that's exposing them in the secondary. They're running a lot of man coverage. And BC is going to use a lot of motion to give the indication of the quarterback, James, to know what they're doing. I would imagine pretty soon they're going to take a shot play, especially being on this side of the 50.
2nd and 8 after the 2-yard gain from Robichaux. James by himself in the backfield, throws it short to Bond. And Lewis takes it down across the 30 for another Eagle first down.
Tar Heels need to do something to understand what's going on in this pass game. They've committed so many people to the run game that they're putting their back in and exposing them. It's just going to be a matter of time until the Eagles figure out how they can get a shot play against this secondary.
Look, this is a North Carolina defense that loves to pressure the quarterback. They're 5th in the nation in sacks so far this season with 34, but BC is doing a good job protecting, and James is getting rid of it quickly. He's 7 of 9 for 64 yards. This time he keeps it, it goes virtually nowhere. It'll be 2nd and 10.
That was a great job keeping it because Rucker had the running back dead to right in the backfield. James does a good job of keeping the football, and that's what Coach O'Brien was talking to us about. Is he feels good with James because he knows he can get him in and out of bad situations and put them in good play situations because of the knowledge of the offense that he has as the backup.
Nice profile from Boston.com's Trevor Haas on Grayson James yesterday. Young Grayson in high school was coached by Kevin Murray. That's Kyler's dad. As he completes it to Bond for a short gain, it'll be 3rd and about 9. Let's go down to the sidelines with Carla.
Yeah, we know Boston College runs that pro-style offense, and UNC defensive coordinator Jeff Collins said this week he really tried to sell that defense, that they needed to shine today if they want to play on Sundays. He said, we cut up film on Tuesday morning, watched about 20 plays from Boston College, then I showed them plays from the Texans and the Patriots. He said the guys saw the parallels there, and they really bought in on that this week.
Yeah, same plays in Houston and New England, and now with BC. Mac Brown told his guys on defense, if you want to play in the league, this is the type of offense you have to stop. They pressure James, but he finds an open man, and it's Reed Harris, and he's got the first down at the 18.
Great job moving in the pocket, keeping his eyes down the field. Great pass. Harrison, great catch. Gets the first down.
Tough throw from James, bracing for the hit.
Look at him sitting in the pocket. They buzz out with echoes. He sees his wide open receiver, throws a catchable ball.
7th BC first down here in the opening quarter. 30 seconds to play in the first 15. James fakes the pitch for Ward, looking downfield, and he underthrows Lewis Bond. Incomplete.
Great underthrow, because there was no defender in sight covering Bond going across the middle. I'm telling you, every time they go in motion, Coach O'Brien understands that this defense is not keeping their eyes on their luggage in the back end of the secondary, and that could be problematic as this game keeps going on and if weather continues to show that they can throw the football.
And it was raining most of warm-ups, but the precipitation has dissipated. It's just cool and windy. James makes a move. Brought down to the 15. It'll be 3rd down and about 7.
Great pursuit by number 10, Desmond. Evans does a good job of making James make a business decision by going down.
BC chewing up the clock. It's what they came to do. 1 down, 3 to play, and you're watching CW Football Saturday, presented by Verizon. Does now. In fact, we were told at practice earlier this week, it was a nice sunny day. Bill was rocking around with a water squirter, spraying the football, spraying guys' gloves, spraying guys' jerseys. I don't think he sprayed anybody in the face, but preparing guys for a wet football Saturday.
That's a professional coach teaching these young men. You have to be able to handle any conditions.
Grayson James across the middle. Vaughn open. First down at the 6.
I'm telling you, they need to communicate and figure out what they're going to do. Great tackle.
By they, you mean the Carolina defense?
Yes, Carolina defense with Hardy. He did a good job of staying balanced. But they keep running a lot of motion with Bond in this 11 personnel. And all of a sudden, they just don't seem to keep their eyes on their luggage.
Look at that last play from our ace ump cam. Spotted at the 7. So it's first and goal for the Eagles, who are thinking touchdown. Kye Robichaux up the middle, down to about the 3.
Right between the guards, and that's the A and B gap right there. You got to have a little bit more stout.
What are you noticing about the battle at the line of scrimmage so far?
One of the things BC is really winning at the line of scrimmage, engaging, pushing the defensive line backwards. These are guys that are 310 pounds, 325 pounds, and they're getting pushed around like they're 170 pounds, like I'm out there.
Pardon me, Steve. Same starting 5 on the offensive line for the last 9 games. It's James keeping it himself and scoring the touchdown at the top of the screen. A great play fake. And then James takes it in from 3 yards out. Touchdown, BC. However,
they were still pushing that line on the right side up the B gap as well. That's a great play design right there. Look at this play. Great job. Keeps it, pulls it out. Great block. Good job. Franklin's blocking. Everybody is in there. Great play design right there. Fantastic play call. Even faked out the cameraman.
Connor tacks on the extra point. 3rd rushing score of the season for Grayson James, and he was untouched. Boston College looking to get to bowl eligibility. They got a 40th anniversary of the greatest play in BC football history. It's a short kickoff this time, and Culliver grabs it around his 9. And Nate McCollum injured during the week of practice, so Culliver taking over the return duties. We got ourselves a studio update with Mike. Yeah, thanks, Mike.
The Yammer.
It's your guy.
That's my guy at NFL Network.
The Mustangs pony up in first year in the league. 1 win away from Charlotte. Criswell completes it to J.J. Jones, and Jones got rocked.
Woo.
Big hit from Omar Thornton, the true freshman from Fort Lauderdale. Closed captioning for CW Football Saturday, brought to you by Skechers Hands-Free Slip-Ins. First down at the 39. Hampton gaining some yards after contact there. A tough 9-yard carry on first down.
They're down by 10. They have to get their best player, Hampton, involved and have some explosive runs.
Look at that last play presented by our ace ump cam. Appreciate the umpire, Sean Carity, wearing the headset. You get angles from that perspective you don't get from anywhere else. And we thank Ace for providing that for us. 2nd and short. Hampton bulls his way across midfield for a Tar Heel first down. Obviously, North Carolina's offense was thrown into a state of upheaval early in the season. They got the great opening day win against the Golden Gophers of Minnesota, but they lost Max Johnson. went to Connor Harrell. They tried Jacoby Criswell. It's been Criswell's team. Playing his 10th game of the season today. He's played more this year than the last 4 years combined from Chapel Hill to Fayetteville. Fake the give to Hampton. Criswell's looking downfield. There's a flag in holding territory, and the pass is incomplete off the hands of J.J. Jones.
It's going to be interesting to see what Criswell is able to do. He already had the wide receiver.
Personal foul. Illegal hands to the face. Offense, number 78. 15-yard penalty. First down.
The right tackle, Travion Green.
Travion Green is going to have a tough day today. He's a guy that gets a little bit overextended. He's a heavy foot guy, 6'7", 340 pounds, very versatile, but he reaches a lot, and he has his hands full today.
Yes, he does, going against number 6, Donovan Ezaraku, who's 4th in the nation with 11 sacks on the season. 1st and 25, a short shovel pass, and that went backwards. It's a loss of 2 with Owen Stoudemire blowing that thing up in the backfield.
Tim Lewis, the defensive coordinator, secondaries coach. When I was in Carolina, this is a guy that's been around football for a very long time, coached in the pros, now back down to the collegiate level. He's going to get his defense in all the right positions because he's seen this offense and many offenses for years to come.
2nd and a mile. Criswell. Pretty good protection, rolls to his right, throws back across his body, and Jordan Shipp could not make the catch with Joe Marinero nearby.
He had him open early, but he just is not seeing the wide open receivers quick enough. His processing is there, his recognition and reaction is a step or a second behind.
I'm with you, and I also think that's a ball that Jordan Shipp should catch. Am I wrong?
Yeah, but you had Marinero coming with a head of steam that makes you kind of question, how do I want to catch this football?
3rd and 27. They need to get all the way to the BC 39. Criswell with time, throws it short. John Copenhaver breaks a tackle. Copenhaver about 3 yards short of the first down. It was Marinero that missed the tackle. And now an interesting choice for Mac Brown. They're going to spot it at the 41, so it's 4th and 2.
It's a great job. Throws the flat. Marinero doesn't see him, doesn't wrap up, doesn't bring his feet. They're going for it. Do they run the football? Do they pass it?
I would be surprised if this isn't number 28.
81 is going in motion. I believe that's going to be a lead right up the middle.
Tar Heels 10 for 20 on 4th down. They're surprising me. Criswell, flag down, throws it well downfield. It's incomplete.
And it's holding.
If it's holding, it'll be declined.
Holding. Offense, number 19. That penalty is declined. The result of the play, first down.
Good coverage downfield by BC's Ashton McShane, and the Tar Heels turn it over on downs.
That's why you're trying to get too cute right there. Just
give it to 28. That's what you wanted?
Yes!
Good defensive dudes through the years in Chapel Hill.
Trey Bly, great dudes.
Grayson James, play action, pressure coming, he escapes. James across the 50, making things happen. Let's go down to Carla.
Well, he's just poised. That's how center Drew Kendall described quarterback Grayson James this week. He said there was never a question when the coaches made the switch at quarterback. He said they knew he came with a lot of experience when he came here from FIU, playing in so many games just last season. But he said he's just got a very calming presence, and as his center, I just love that.
Gained about 9.5 yards, so it's 2nd and short. Boston College keeps it on the ground.
Might be a holding.
First carry of the day for McDonald.
Personal foul. Illegal hands to the face. Defense. Number 93. 15-yard penalty added to the end of the play. Automatic first down.
Carolina sideline did not like that call. You see the hands to the face right there.
That's always a no-no.
Penalties are really hurting the Tar Heels here.
And that's the second one on Cowie, so he needs to be careful. Tell you one of the things that Lewis Bond is doing a great job, but I would believe Reed Harris, number 4 for BC, will get involved very shortly.
Oh, it's a give. This is John Montague. John Montague, the freshman, takes it into the end zone.
We talked about how athletic Montague is, and he's a freshman, and that they want to get involved so they can see and prepare for next season. This young man is a heck of a football player.
First career touchdown for the North Carolina native, John Montague.
It's a great job, misdirection, all flow going for the defense right. They hit an end and around reverse pitch going to the left. No one out there but James blocking for.
24 yards for the dual threat high school quarterback from Clayton and Zebulon, North Carolina. A moment that John Montague will never, ever forget. His first career college score, and it comes against UNC. 17-0 Eagles. Eagles in front, 17-0. Just over 20 minutes into the ball game. North Carolina probably feeling really chilly right now on the sideline. See if Chris Culliver can make something happen on the return. Oh, yes, he can. Across the 30, he gets around Connor. Chris Culliver to the other 30, and he's going the distance. Culliver takes it to the house to get the Tar Heels on the board.
Woo! Good play. Wow. That's the play that they needed. Great job by Culliver.
They've scored on defense 2 of the last 3 weeks, and now a special teams touchdown. Chris Culliver, the sophomore from Maiden, North Carolina, with his first touchdown of the year, 95 yards. Noah Burnett out there to tack on the point after. Game-changing type of play on special teams when it felt like the Tar Heels hadn't really shown up yet.
Hadn't shown up. You ask yourself on kickoff, who's going to make a play? Chris Culliver raises his hand and says, "Coach, I will." To know what's going on, you want to be on the edge of your seats.
Culliver, the first touchdown on a kickoff return for Carolina in 6 years.
Wow.
And the kickoff from Osada soars into the end zone. So, well, look, Boston College has moved the ball. Grayson James is 10 for 13. Half of his completions have gone to Lewis Bond, who only had 2 catches last week, but he's their go-to guy, and he's playing like it so far today.
Lewis Bond is doing a great job working a lot of different routes in a lot of different positions, but also having to get some other guys involved as well is going to be something that we would expect to see, and that Eagles have to respond back against North Carolina running that back.
McDonald up the middle, tough 4 yards on first down. Question for you about the Carolina offense. Criswell's 5 for 7. Amarian Hampton has run the ball 4 times. How surprised are you by that dynamic as we sit here midway through the second?
Well, when you look at the score, it's not surprising because now they have to play catch up. They haven't had the ball a lot on offense, so they can't play that kind of run it, grind it out type of football that we're accustomed to seeing by Chapel Hill.
Again, it's McDonald. That his breakout game against Syracuse a couple of weeks ago. Sets up a 3rd down and 4, and now this is where the Eagles want to be. They want 3rd and 4 to set up 4th and 2. Interesting to see with a 10-point lead where they go forward on 4th and 1 or 2 from their own 34-35. We'll see if we get that far.
This is where Carolina can take advantage. It's 3rd and 4, but number 28, Hizzy, comes down. Speaking with the coaches before the game, they said he's the guy that gets everybody lined up correctly. He plays corner.
Ward motions out and then back in. Grayson James on 3rd down, leaps, comes back down. There's no traveling in football, and he runs for the 1st down.
It's a lot of mesh routes going on underneath, sitting in zone coverage by Carolina, and it looks like they had everything covered. However, no one seemed to remember James can run for a 1st down.
That's a really smart holster there, because he could have thrown that on the leap into coverage and chanced it, but man, that's tremendous situational awareness from a guy in his 3rd career start in the ACC. Obviously, he played a little bit of football for FIU, different level.
It's a great job shooting the gap.
Grayson Ward for a few, and you know, after leaving Florida International, Grayson James thought he was headed to play at the FCS level with UT Martin. The day before he was going to drive to Tennessee, they called and said, sorry, we don't have a spot for you.
Oh, wow.
And then it was shortly thereafter, he thought it was going to be left out, but Boston College wide receivers coach Darryl Wyatt reached out. Wyatt worked at BC under Jeff Hafley, stayed under Bill O'Brien. Wyatt's the reason that Grayson James is here playing today. Looking good. Pressure coming. And the throw off Bond's fingertips.
Bond got stuck in the grass a little bit on this route against lane number 1 for Chapel Hill. And so that's why the ball was a little bit high and delayed. Bond got stuck, and when that happens, sometimes it speeds everything up and it throws off the rhythm of the quarterback. Sometimes wide receivers, we like to get cute with routes a little bit. Sometimes the grass, the artificial turf, has another thought about that.
Did you enjoy playing much more on natural grass than on artificial turf?
I'll take natural grass any day.
Robichaux moving out of the backfield, now back in it. 3 wideouts to the top of the screen. James pressured by Ritzy.
Great pressure. He's sitting back there all day. Momentum is changing. 6 minutes left in this 1st half. Getting BC off the field right now can really play well for Chapel Hill if they can capitalize first by securing the football on punt return and running down the field.
Marion Hampton back to return the punt. Liam Connor already kicked a career best 49-yard field goal. Now he'll punt for the 1st time.
This is Hizzy.
You're right. It is Elijah Huzzy.
Yes,
and he
Huzzy.
fair catches it. The other 28. One of these decades, they're going to outlaw these double numbers. All right, CW Football Saturday continues this afternoon and into the evening. The Citadel heads to Death Valley to face number 17 Clemson. And then in the nightcap, it's the de facto Pac-12 title game. Washington State makes the trip to Corvallis to take on Oregon State. CW Football Saturday here on the CW. The Clemson Tigers 8-2. And they get a matchup with the Citadel Bulldogs of the FCS today. With a win, Clemson would clinch their 14th straight 9-win season. That 28 is not Huzzy, it's Hampton. And I would expect the Tar Heels to pound the rock with Hampton here, closing in on 5 minutes to go in the half.
They need to do something. Hampton is the guy that you need to get the football to. He's their best player on offense. Talking to the coach of BC, reminds him of a DeMarco Murray. Explosive, lower body heavy, and just runs downhill all the time.
And yet BC ready for it, up to the task. The linebacker, Davion Crouch, makes the stop to set up third down as we send it downstairs to Carla.
Yeah, guys, the number that this BC defense has circled is number 78. That's how many yards that they want to keep Amarion Hansen under today as he's close to reaching that 1,500 mark. They said, yeah, he's going to reach it this season, but we don't want it to be against us.
Well, especially after he had 244 last week. Keeping him under that mark is an ambitious goal, but so far so good. On 3rd and 6, Criswell throws it to nobody. The pressure from Davion Crouch. It's 4th down for the Tar Heels, and the punting unit's coming on.
This is what I was talking about, the key of the game, allowing the quarterback play, playing left-handed, making them beat them by passing the football. This is a team that loves to run the football. So if you get them behind the chains, now they have to do something that is not their strength, which is throw the football. You can see right there, I don't know if receivers were open. Oh, they just threw down the flag for intentional grounding.
Intentional grounding. Offense. Penalty is a loss of down despite the foul. 4th down.
Yeah, I'm with Mac on this one, but I understand the call.
What do you mean with Mac on? You don't?
Because I think the receiver ran the wrong route or something. Like
that's not the referee's problem.
So I understand the call, as I said.
You got holding by Green too.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
On 4th and 16, it's a short punt into the thick wind. Friendly bounce will go all the way into Eagles territory. It'll be spotted right around the 36-yard line. Our only 2 episodes remain in the final season of Superman and Lois. This Monday, the Man of Steel fights a fate he never imagined possible, getting old. But these new limitations are only the beginning of Superman's problems. Don't miss Superman and Lois, Monday at 8/7 Central, right here on the CW.
Superman can never get old.
You got to watch on Monday night to see what it looks like. I'm with you, though. It's stunning. Dissonant to read that. BC with some tough yards again on 1st down. Picks up about 6 with Robichaux. Field goal, 2 touchdowns, and then a punt on the last possession. But you got to like how Grayson James, we say managing the game, and that's looked at as almost like a flaw sometimes, but he's been super solid is the point.
I don't believe that's a flaw. You want a guy that you can count on and believe that can take you in the right direction.
They said about your guy Jake Delhomme, you took him all the way to the Super Bowl.
Let me tell you something. Managing is not a bad thing. Did Bill O'Brien spray the referees?
Yeah, he might have done that. Our last play from our ace ump cam.
Look at all those active hands back there on the ace cam.
So 1st down carry from Robichaux. Kye's 10 carries for 26 yards so far. James is 10 for 15 throwing. And under pressure, Tar Heels can't get there. There's a flag down in the backfield. Last 2 times I've said it, it's been a hands to the face call, but this one I think is a hold.
This is a hold / tackle. Chapel Hill.
Holding. Offense. Number 71. 10-yard penalty. 1st down.
Jude Bowery, the starting left tackle from Maryland.
Chapel Hill's doing a really good job. They're playing a little zone coverage, but they have delayed blitzers coming up the middle, which can play with the offensive line because that means they establish where they're sliding. And all of a sudden, they don't account for the extra blitzer coming, which now means that the blitzer and the quarterback are man-to-man, and we know how that goes. That means scramble with the quarterback.
Got a glimpse of Jeff Collins there. He's looking cold. He would probably enjoy doing some push-ups right about now if the Tar Heels could get him a turnover. Short throw, it's Montague, who they're using a variety of roles. They do have a package of plays for Montague as a quarterback, position he played in high school. Well, reminder, now you can get game day ready from your team's merch to tailgate must-have. Scan the QR code and shop now. So 7-yard gain to Montague. Trayshawn Ward alongside James in the backfield on 2nd and 13. Nice little pocket. Bond makes a man miss. Lewis Bond taken down at the 41. We got another flag.
Face mask. They're throwing the ball to Bond. You got James the Bond.
Yeah.
That's a great agent right there.
Yeah, 007.
Personal foul, face mask, offense, number 11, 15-yard penalty, still second down.
So they're calling it against Lewis
You
Bond.
want to know why? That was a face mask because he held on to the face mask as he was going down. Bench number 1, I believe Lane. See, he's going down. Actually, Lane was holding on to his arm a little bit. So it looked like he still was holding on to Lane's face mask, which he wasn't.
That's a big shift in momentum as we tick toward the 2-minute timeout. 2:21 to play in this first half. 2nd and 16. It's Bond again. And Stick Lane goes low. Brings him down shy of midfield. I'd like to warn you about something, Steve.
Yes.
We got a 2-minute timeout.
And they're going to have to check Bond out to see if he has a concussion.
You're watching CW Football Saturday, presented by Verizon. Game began with Grayson James in control of the offense. He glided into the end zone from 3 yards out, and then John Montague, the freshman, his first career score.
Yeah, they've been doing a good job, doing a really good job of giving this North Carolina defense fits, misdirection, throwing the football, running the football.
Culliver's 95-yard return, the only score for Carolina. We just had an interesting sequence here when we were in break. North Carolina, I think, took a timeout right before the 2-minute timeout. So we were in break. BC ran one more play. Grayson James scrambled to his left for 9 yards, which sets up a 4th and 2. from the UNC 43-yard line.
This could be really interesting to see why and what BC does, because Hester Jr., number 98, just went to the locker room holding his left arm down by his side, which would indicate, for me, allegedly, hypothetically, that would say his shoulder a little bit. So you imagine the 6'4", 310-pound anchor is not there right now. They have Harris Sr. is right there in the nose. So it'll be interesting to see what play do the Eagles run with Hester Jr. not in the ball game.
How aggressive is Bill O'Brien going to be here? If you don't get it, obviously you give Carolina excellent field position to a Carolina offense that has, for the most part, been stymied. UNC with just 3 first downs in the half compared to BC's 13. 4th down for Boston College. Trayshawn Ward motions out of the backfield. James underthrows his man across the middle, and Carolina will take over. He short-armed Dino Tomlin, whose dad Mike is here in the crowd today. But it's Carolina ball. Check it out from our ace ump cam.
Right there, umpire gets out of the way. Short arms. James has been pretty good. It's been surprising. A few of the passes he's done that going across the middle. It seems to be the game plan for the Eagles right now, is the crossers going underneath, and it's been very successful for him so far.
See if Chip Lindsey takes a shot here from the 43-yard line after the turnover on downs. Criswell, just off the fingertips of Kobe Paysour, wearing Tylee Craft's number 13 shirt today.
That was actually a good throw. The quarterback threw the ball exactly where it needed to be. The wide receiver needed to have a little bit higher angle to come back towards the line, back towards the ball. Would have made it a little bit easier, and catching the football and dragging his feet. Goes inside, does a great job. Yeah, a little bit too flat.
55 total yards. The Star Heels.
They got to do something, and they got to pass their way back into this football game.
And Hampton blocking, now leaking out, and the pressure's coming, and down goes Criswell. Donovan Ezeraku, among others, providing the pressure in the backfield.
A lot of pressure, a lot of guys back there. You got 3 offensive linemen back there near the quarterback. That's never a good sight when your quarterback is throwing the football.
Tavius Hutchins coming from one direction, Ezeraku from the other, and now it's 3rd and 16.
Three in the house.
He can think about using a timeout here with a stop. And now an interception. Joe Marinero, the former walk-on, turned captain, turned hero here in Chestnut Hill. Wow.
Great job of reading the eyes of the quarterback.
Made his first career start last week in his 38th career game. He was just put on full scholarship a couple weeks into this season, Steve.
Coach talked about Marinero's a heck of a football player, does everything. Special teams, looking to read the eyes of the quarterback. High points the football, puts it in his right hand just in case he fumbles, it goes out of bounds. He's running that rock like he's a running back. High point.
13th pick of the season for the BC defense. And it sets up Grayson James in the offense at the Tar Heels 32. Robichaux still going. Huzzy lost a helmet. He'll have to trot off.
He has to come off the field.
Stop the clock with 55 seconds. And the chains are late moving. I don't think the chain gang realized it was a first down. This is why they stopped the clock to reset the chains in college football, because they wouldn't have been set if BC snapped it when they wanted to when they got to the line. Robichaux down inside the 20, and the Eagles will take their first timeout of the first half. Eagles by 10 and looking for more here in the final minute of the half. Hey, if you're looking for a cable news network that respects all Americans, you have a new home with News Nation. CY News Nation is America's fastest growing cable news network. To find News Nation on your screen, go to joinnn.com. It's the first game of a triple header on the CW. We'll take you to the Death Valley, Clemson, South Carolina. Tom Brenneman and Max Brown are getting ready. And then the Pac-12 duel between the Cougs and Beavers with Ted Robinson and Ryan Leaf. Later on this evening from Corvallis. All right, James looking to the end zone. Reed Harris rips it down. Touchdown, Boston College.
Wow, high point in football, I told you. At some point, they're going to have to go to Harris, and where they go to Harris, right in practice, what we saw, high points to football, against the corner. Wow, great catch, great pass, great route. 23-7.
They got high hopes for this kid, Harris. 6'5", redshirt freshman from Great Falls, Montana.
The crazy part, he has come on late because now the quarterback change gives him an opportunity to throw the football to everyone.
Career high 4 catches last week. Harris with his second catch of the day, and Connor makes it 24-7 with 40 seconds left in the half.
And I love this. Wow.
And we were talking with Bill O'Brien yesterday about how he wants Harris to learn to be a little bit more violent,
yes,
like a young Steve Smith.
I was never 6'4", but I'll take that Harris height. He's running a great job. Fights off the corner, catches the football. Wow.
Good contact catch there.
Look at Grayson. He said, "Hey, that's my guy." We were at practice yesterday, and they were throwing these routes, high pointing the football. Every young man watching this game today understand when the quarterback throws you the ball, he's entrusted that you will protect the quarterback, and that's what Harris does. Protects the quarterback with an excellent throw.
Harris believed to be the first Montana native to ever play ACC football.
When he keeps playing like this, they're going to go back to Montana and get some of these wide receivers.
Yeah, no doubt.
It's great skiing out there in Montana as well.
I've heard. What a half for Boston College.
Wow. I would expect UNC, I would expect North Carolina would want the water to start coming back in the second half so they can run the football, slow this thing down.
Maybe. They haven't thrived in these cold, raw conditions even without the rain. I don't know how their vibes and mojo on the sideline would enjoy a downpour.
Ooh, squid.
Don't want to give Culliver a chance, so it is the up man for the Tar Heels, DeAndre Boykins, that takes it out across the 30. 35 seconds, a couple timeouts for Mac Brown's Tar Heels.
North Carolina has to figure out how they're going to make an explosive play. 35 seconds left on the clock. What do we do? What play do you have drawn up for this? 4 wide receivers. They got to block up front first and then make good decisions.
Double pass. Hampton makes the defender miss. Wow. Beat KP Price around the edge and gains some yardage. There's still 28 seconds in the half.
That's crazy.
I don't want to ask you what Mac Brown would do. What would Steve Smith Sr. say to the North Carolina Tar Heels if you were given the message in the locker room here at halftime?
Well, you know that adage of it's 0-0. That's not true. We're down by 20. We're down. It's 24. They've scored 24 points. How are we going to answer? What do we need to do?
Criswell rifles it complete. Jordan Shipp down to the BC 40. Tar Heels racing to the line. Clock restarts. Criswell back to work and throws an incompletion off Shipp's palm out of bounds.
Shipp is a pretty good player. I watched him down there in Charlotte at Providence Day. He's a heck of a football player, 6'1", freshman from Charlotte, North Carolina. It's good to see this young man play well as a freshman.
Yep, true freshman. Actually sees the best 2 receptions last week against Wake in the 31-24 win over the Deeks.
They're going to have to find an answer in the pass game because they can't run themselves back into this football game.
Wake Forest, by the way, hanging with Miami. Pressure coming, down goes Criswell. Mac Brown takes the quick timeout from the sideline. Donovan Ezeraku making things happen.
I saw a few NFL scouts watching, and this is one of the guys they're watching to see can he play at the next level, and yes, he can.
We know one NFL coach is here today, watching from the stands.
Yes, that'd be Mike Tomlin, head coach, Pittsburgh Steelers, who beat my Baltimore Ravens last Sunday. And then I saw the Jaguars.
And then they were shocked in the snow on Thursday night in Cleveland.
I know. Look at this weather. When I saw the Jaguars and New England Patriots here as well, looking at some of these guys.
Carolina seeking their 4th straight win. BC bowl eligible with a win today. You know, I was listening to some of the clips of you on Julian Edelman's podcast, and apparently, I didn't know this, you were almost traded to the Patriots at one point in your career. What's the quick story?
Quick story is it was just my time in Carolina. My agent worked out a deal. Unfortunately, I got the permission to go to the San Francisco 49ers, but I wanted to stay on the East Coast. Decided to stay in Carolina, and we ended up going deep into the playoffs, but I enjoyed my time there. That's where I reside in North Carolina. You would
have been an awesome Patriot. And you were a great Panther and a phenomenal Raven. And anywhere you went, you would have done work. As Copenhagen makes the catch, and Carolina takes its final timeout.
5 seconds. 5 seconds on the clock.
So, well, 40 years ago, we saw a Hail Mary involving BC. Looks like Criswell and the Tar Heels are going to go for that. And you know Mac Brown because he coached you in the Shrine Bowl right when you were finishing up your career before the draft at Utah.
Yeah, it was 24 years ago.
Look at this, the Shrine Bowl MVP.
I got 2001. I got there pretty late. Some guys decided number 5 was Quincy Morgan at Kansas State. He decided he didn't need to go. They said, hey, Steve, would you like to come out there? He said, heck yeah. Went out there, got out there Wednesday.
And Mac remembers you showing up late and said you were all business and you were the best player. And obviously, you're also a member of the East-West Shrine Bowl Hall of Fame, I saw, inducted earlier this year.
All because of Mac.
Only a matter of time before another Hall of Fame comes calling, my friend. Criswell on the final play of the half to the end zone, and it is intercepted by Boston College. I wonder what Gerard Phelan was thinking as that ball hung in the air. He was probably like, I would have had it. It's halftime, and Boston College has a 17-point lead, a phenomenal first half for the Eagles.
It's going to be interesting. That would love to be a fly on the wall in that locker room at halftime.
Well, the Eagles started the season 4-1, obviously. Now sitting here at 5-5, trying to get back on track. Let's go to Carla.
Coach, Marinero's interception, Harris's touchdown. What can that do for your team going into the half?
It's 60 minutes. You know, this is a really good team. They've got a lot of weapons on offense. It's just halftime. There's a lot of football left. We got to play 60 minutes.
You held onto the ball for 20 minutes in that first half. How do you continue to control the tempo in the next?
I think we got to mix it up. I think we have to start doing some things a little bit different. They caught on to some of the things we're doing, so we got to do a good job of mixing it up this half.
All right. Thanks, Coach. Guys.
Thanks so much, Carla. At the end of the first half, BC in front 24-7. Now let's send it to the CW Football Saturday studio. Mike Yam and Michael Bumpus. Take it away, guys.
they can get themselves out of this pickle to get back in the game by throwing the football.
Not only are they 0 for 5 on 3rd down, they're also 0 for 2 on 4th down. Total yards almost mirrors the score, 240 to 77. It's 24-7. Touchback Carolina starts the 25. Let's check in with Carla. Hey, Carla.
Hey, guys. Yeah, I just talked with head coach Mack Brown from UNC, and he said you got to give Boston College all of the credit. They did everything right in the first half. He said we played hard. We just did not play well, but we only had the ball 24 times in that first half, and Amario and Hampton only had the ball 6 times. He said that's not enough. He said we fought back from adversity all season long, and this second half is another opportunity to do that.
And you can picture Mack Brown delivering that exact message. Thanks for passing it along, Carla, and we'll see exactly what the Tar Heels have in store. Hampton picks up about 5 on the first play out of the half.
It was a good job going against the grain, little zone read. Picks a nice hole.
Streak on the line today for Hampton. He has rushed for 100 yards in 8 straight games. The Tar Heels have had a 100-yard rusher every game this year, as Stoudemire shaken up on the defensive line for BC. Cam Horsley has been dealing with a shoulder issue that has been nagging him lately. Stoudemire's got more of a chance, and he's made an impact today.
He's done a good job. Never want to see a guy go down like that.
Now, Boston College today playing without Max Tucker, their top corner. So that they're going, and Bright Keys Brown, who played last week against SMU, got dinged up as well. So that they're pretty thin in the secondary. But Carolina has not been able to exploit that, not even close.
Haven't even attempted to throw the ball down the field yet.
Swinging out to Hampton out of the backfield, and that's tremendous pursuit from Omar Thornton.
This is the part where when we were talking to defensive coordinator Tim Lewis, he talked about making the quarterback beat him by throwing the football. They have to throw the football right now and go vertical. What I'm watching them is go horizontal. They're not moving the ball down the field very much. And this dink and dunk, when you're down by 17 points, it's just not going to be effective.
3rd down and 3. Jones in motion. Hampton alongside Criswell in the backfield. Jacolby under pressure. Down he goes. Wow. Ryan Turner coming on the corner blitz.
They did a great job establishing where they were sliding protection. Late blitzer does not adjust. Late blitzer on the end. Number 79 does not see him. Great job. Now that puts North Carolina behind themselves. Now they got to figure out how they can stop this offense and get the football back in their hands.
First sack of the season for the Ohio State transfer, Ryan Turner. McGinnis hunting to Ferris from the 32. Ferris crosses the 40, breaks a tackle. Isaiah Ferris. McGinnis nicely blocked by Thornton and down all the way to the 15-yard line.
What a return, and 2 excellent shielding blocks. They didn't hit in the back, shielded off the corner. Look, it sets the tone, goes to the right, runs through a hand tackle. Except 97 and long snapper is not gonna get him, and then 96 the kicker is.
He's blocking a punter, so I don't want to go too crazy, but.
No, that's a great block.
Yeah, and he's a freshman, and he just brought down Hampton in the open field. What a sequence for Omar Thornton. Tremendous field position for BC.
Great job of shielding.
On in motion, the give to Robichaux. He pounds his way for about 4 yards down to the 11. It was a 37-yard return for Isaiah Ferris. And Grayson James, very, very solid, exceptionally solid in the first half.
This will be interesting on the 11-yard line. North Carolina probably needs to dial up some kind of pressure that will expose them in the back end to man-to-man coverage.
Bond in motion. James fakes the gift, looking to run it himself. And he's pursued by Stick Lane, who brings him down to the 10. He'll spot it at the 9. And it'll be 3rd down and about 4.
One of the things you notice is a lot of tackles being made by secondary defenders.
What does that tell you?
That tells me that guys up front are not disengaging and shedding blocks and pursuing. That means that these offensive linemen by BC are locking them up and then and hoping that the secondary can fill in the gaps. That's never good.
Mari Morales at the bottom of the screen, former Tar Heel. And over Morales' head, it's knocked away in the end zone. What a play by Eccles, swatting it from Harris. And it'll be 4th and 4.
That's a great job by Eccles not giving up on the play. Was initially beat, chases man's down, active hands, always produces a great play.
Harris wants that one back for sure.
Yeah, but Eccles did a great job of making him want that back.
So here's Liam Connor from 27. He had made one field. Eagles had made one field goal all season, but Connor's kicked 2 good ones today. And it's BC by 20 as you watch CW Football Saturday, presented by Verizon. You're watching CW Football Saturday, presented by Verizon. All right, Liam Connor kicking off, and it had been a perfect day for him so far until now. Kickoff out of bounds. The bright side for BC is Culliver's not taking it to the house.
Nope.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team, number 95. The ball will be placed at the 35-yard line. 1st down.
It is crazy that BC had attempted 2 field goals all year. They were 1 for 2. And you think, oh, they're not going to kick. And then Liam Connor, 2 for 2 today. And that mistake notwithstanding.
That's a little windy, though.
Yeah.
I think he was going up high, and then the wind got it. That's the story I'm going with. You got to protect your kickers, man.
I hear you. Let's see if Hampton can rev the engines for the Tar Heels here. He's lined up in the pistol behind Criswell. Tight bunch formation as Carolina starts from the 35. Omari and Hampton met immediately. The big fella, Cedarius McConnell. No gain. Closed captioning for CW Football Saturday brought to you by Skechers Hand-Free Slip-ins. Ed McConnell, the transfer from Illinois. He's a big boy wearing number 88 on the D-line.
Playmaker's number.
BC band right in front of our broadcast booth right now for Boston. Culliver making a move. Gets close to the first down, but it will be 3rd and short for Criswell and the Carolina offense. And we got a stoppage and a flag as Hampton gets hit immediately by Crouch. Could change the look of this 3rd down dramatically.
Ball start. Offense, number 3, line up the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
One of the things that's very interesting watching Boston College defense, they seem to always have 5 guys making sure they're in the box. When that happens, that is always problematic for an offensive line because you can't rest because you know someone's going to fill a gap.
It was 3rd and a half yard. Now it's 3rd and about 5 and a half. Criswell to the air, throws into coverage. There's no flag. It's 4th down. The defense from Turner on J.J. Jones.
It was great coverage. He rushed the throw a little bit, led the receiver in the deep end. However, Turner had better coverage.
Criswell back to the sidelines. So McGinnis returns to the field. Isaiah Ferris, 37-yard punt return his last time, but now he's standing back at his own 10-yard line.
With the wind blowing, they're going to have a short kick that gives him opportunity to return the ball.
Carolina had a successful punt fake last week, but not here. And it will bounce inside the 10, inside the 5, and roll nicely at the 3. What a kick. Citadel and Clemson coming up at 3:30 with Tom Brenneman and Max Brown, Death Valley in South Carolina. McGinnis' punt, a net of 57 yards. So the worst field position of the day by far, Grayson James and the Eagles offense.
It looks like they're in 12 personnel, 2 tight ends.
They like that package. Got some good tight ends. Their offensive line has consistently gotten a push, and Robichaux has been the benefactor. Look at that last play from our ace Umpcan.
Offensive lineman, defensive lineman down there in the trenches making some pancakes. Where's the syrup? Woo! About 4 or 5 linemen on the ground.
Robichaux in the pistol behind James with Bond in motion. James looking to throw. He's going deep. He's got Harris. Wow! A basket catch for Harris into Carolina territory to the 40.
Double coverage and still was able to outrun 2 defenders. What is going on? You got motion. We call this a deep 202. Corners beat off the line. The safeties beat off the line. Great throw by James.
38-yard game. What a beautiful throw that was.
He's just a young freshman from Montana, but I'm going to tell you right now, beating 2 defenders, that's Sunday type of work right there. Young man from Montana's putting Montana on the map. They said, you know him for skiing, but let me tell you about receiving by the wide receiver.
3 catches, 76 yards, and a touchdown for Harris.
Oh, a tutty.
I was almost going to say that, but I didn't know if I had the credibility from you yet. I appreciate the authority. Jakeen Harris is the shaken up Tar Heel. Getting ready to play his old school next week. Hopefully he'll be ready to go. I know Tar Heel fans would love to deny the Wolfpack bowl eligibility. We'll take a timeout. your plate. Reed Harris, a happy guy.
Great catch.
27-7, and Robichaux almost broke that one. Stick Lane got his hand on the shoe to prevent the score. BC right back to the line after picking up the first down. Robichaux for 1, and a Tar Heel lost a helmet. Caleb Cost will depart the field for a play. There he is. Jeff Collins.
BC sees something that's secondary that's making them open up this playbook a little bit more, spreading out the wide receivers and the DBs and still running the football.
I think at this point, if the Tar Heels are going to win this game, they're going to need Jeff Collins to do some push-ups, and that means the Tar Heels defense is going to need to first get a turnover from Grayson James in the Eagles O. James flush to his left, flips it out of bounds. That'll create 3rd down and 9.
Struggling a little bit to get a rush, get off these blocks in the front 7.
I got a question for you that may not have an answer, but
okay.
When you're a defense and you've been getting pushed around, or the other offense has been controlling the line of scrimmage more often than not, what can you do to change that other than just try harder?
Well, everybody has to take care of their job. Stop worrying about the next guy. Keep your lane integrity, cover your guy, do the things that coach is asking you to do.
Pressure on James, and he will toss it away, and we'll see if Bill O'Brien's going to try another long field goal here.
There's times like this where when the defense gets down, and offensively when you get down, you try to do a little bit too much. You don't want to do anything outside of your current job. Keep it simple by doing tasks on hand.
Maybe with the wind picking up, we did see Connor hit 49 in this direction earlier. It'd be about a 46, 47-yard shot here, but instead Bill O'Brien choosing to go for it on 4th and 9 from the 29. Grayson James steps up, completes it to Lewis Bond. Across the 15, down to the 11.
It's a great catch right there. That's coach. Understand their zone coverage. Bond sits in the zone like he's been doing all day. James and Bond, great connection.
Back to Bond. Going nowhere this time. Into the arms of Will Hardy. Bond, though, his 9th catch of the day right there. That's a season best.
Doing a great job working the middle. It's like a stroll in the park. He's just casual.
They've had some good receivers here. I know you're a big Zay Flowers fan.
Huge Zay Flowers fan. That's one of my favorite wide receivers, the Baltimore Ravens, Zay Flowers.
Why are you a big Zay guy?
Just I love the way he comes to work every single day. I love his attitude. He had an opportunity before he was drafted 2 years ago, 3 years ago. He could have left Boston College for a lot of money, NIL money, but you know what he did? Committed to staying to the school that invested in him. It says a lot for a young man that you generally don't see with all the NIL money being thrown at people.
Jeff Hafley raved about that fact with Zay last year. The loyalty, the dedication to the program. There is a bunny rabbit on the field down at the other end zone right now. It's not like the squirrel from back in the day, but I saw that bunny on the Carolina sideline earlier. Anyway, 3rd down and 6. Complete. It's Franklin, and he's shy of the line to gain. It'll be 4th and about 4 from the 5 as Michael Short keeps him short of the first.
Also, we were talking about Zay. Zay's just a fantastic young man helping the Baltimore Ravens.
You surprised at all that rather than kick a field goal and go up by 23, BC is going to keep it in the hands of the offense here, 4th and 4?
I'm not surprised. The wind has shifted dramatically, and that doesn't bode well for a kicker that doesn't have a strong leg and inexperience. So I think this is smart. Pinning also, pinning North Carolina because they haven't done anything offensively that makes you fear them.
Play clock winding down. James gets the snap off. 4th and 4. James steps up and gets hit. And Carolina will take over on the turnover on downs around the 5 or 6 yard line. Kevin Hester Jr., who was shaken up earlier back in the game, helps to make the stop. Heck of a drive for BC, but they come up empty as you watch CW Football Saturday, presented by Verizon. After the 4th down stop, 4:43 to play in the 3rd. Carolina offense has a long way to go, and they've only got 83 total yards in the game. Receiver goes down and gets the flag. It's Paysor.
And that was a penalty. He was holding his jersey as he was going to the high angle deep corner.
Pass interference. Defense, number 29. 15-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
That's surprising. Martinez is a pretty good cover corner playing in the nickel. For him to get to
there may have been some contact there, but Paysor sold it well.
No, that was a grab. That's pass interference in all 50 states and overseas.
Okay. You can ask about Puerto Rico, but I'm just assuming that in the States. So after the penalty, through Paysor's hands near the 43-yard line. Let's go down to Carla.
Yeah, you mentioned Luke Kuechly earlier, and earlier this week he was added to the semifinalist list for the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and of course all the players here consider him to be one of the top football alum from the program. And ironically, Evan, one of Luke's former teammates happens to be on that semifinalist list as well, and he happens to be our teammate this weekend.
Steve Smith Sr., semifinalist for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. It is only a matter of time before the game becomes a calling, my friend. One of the great receivers in the history of the NFL.
I'm humbled by this. Thank you very much. I also don't like talking about it.
Touchdown on the very first touch of the football you ever had in your whole career on a kickoff return in game number 1.
Yeah, I've been honored to be able to play for Carolina for so many years, call that my home. Mr. Richardson, God rest his soul, took a chance on
False start. Offense, number 78. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Took a chance on a knucklehead from LA that got transferred to the University of Utah. And, I'm forever grateful, and then obviously with David Tepper owning the team now, Carolina is a great place and a home that the Smiths call home.
You play with such a motor, such a ferocity on the field. It was so much fun to watch.
Thank you.
Pressure, and Criswell goes down. Wow. KP Price in the backfield this time.
That was a great job by KP Price because J.J. Jones was wide open. He ran a deep post and got behind the corner. Luckily, the pressure got back there. That could have been a big play for North Carolina.
6th sack of the day for the Boston College defense. On 4th and 18, no choice for Mack Brown other than to send McGinnis back out onto the field. Isaiah Ferris has had a nice day returning punts. He's standing at his own 45 right now. Backs up and then lost the football, picks it up at his own 30. And wants a big swing and field position. They finally bring him down back near the BC 20. They'll spot at the 22. Well, one more week of college football, but 2 weeks from now, CW Courtside Saturday is back. It all tips off. Syracuse traveling to South Bend to take on Notre Dame, followed by New Look, Virginia, as they head to Dallas to face SMU. CW Courtside Saturday begins December 7th, 12 Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, only on the CW. Grayson James back to work. They give to Trayshawn Ward. Brought down by Josh Harris after a pickup of about 4.
They're running the football up and down the gut, and North Carolina has no answer.
What stands out most to you about the way BC has called this game? The OC Will Lawing and Bill O'Brien at the top.
You would think that running the football with Grayson James, throwing the football would not be the direction they go. However, that's been the catalyst to getting this offense going. Every single time they stalemate, they go to a pass that really opens things up.
It's the 61st play for the BC offense. Trayshawn Ward up the middle near the first down spot. 27 passes and now 34 runs.
This is the part where it's going to get interesting as we get closer and closer to the fourth quarter. As it gets colder, they're still running the football. You're going to have guys start to get fatigued because because it's cold, their body is working a little bit harder by playing and trying to stay warm as well.
BC now 154 yards rushing in the game, looking to add to it with Jordan McDonald. And just a steady few yards on first down. Let's go down to Carla.
Kamari Morales, we know, was with UNC last season, but earlier this week he was comparing UNC and Boston College. He says BC is just a tougher brand of football because we have to be. We don't have that brand recognition that UNC has to help in recruiting, and because of that, when you come here, you got to have a different mindset if you want to come here and play guys.
Yeah, he was also asked if he's been in touch with his Tar Heel teammates. He said, quite frankly, I don't got nothing to say to them. Now, at the same time, he did travel back down to the Carolinas for Tylee Craft's funeral in October, which had to be just a gut-wrenching thing, but it was a game week, and it meant a lot to Mac Brown. You know, Kamari Morales came into Chapel Hill, the same class with Tylee. They were close.
You know, it's one of those things that game week brings out the best and the worst in them. And you want to win against your former team. No matter how you leave, you never want to lose against the team that you called home for such a long time.
Under 20 seconds to play here in the third quarter. It was 24-7 at half. BC in control of this game as James scampers for the first down and loses his helmet in the process. This will likely lead us into the fourth quarter. See if James needs to sit out of play here after the helmet came off. There is an injured Tar Heel. Travis Shaw is slow to get up, keeping the clock stopped with 8 seconds.
Which means you can't run the clock off, and James has to come off the field for the next play. That's why the crowd was booing.
See Jacoby Robinson, who's the backup quarterback. He's only appeared in one game this year. That was against Duquesne.
You think they would throw a deep pass with Robinson in the game?
I would be stunned if it wasn't a handoff.
Hey, you better be careful.
To Robichaux or Ward or McDonald. But maybe the Carolina defense would be stunned as well. They put 11 guys in the box.
North Carolina player Shaw gets off the field healthy, so that's good. He'll get checked out on the sideline.
Jacoby Robinson, like James, from Texas. And they run off the last 8 seconds. And you add in the fourth downs, the Tar Heels are 0 for 10 on 3rd and 4th down. Expected this to be a really tight game. It has been anything but. And the ball is loose. And Jeff Collins is going to do some push-ups. Because Carolina recovers the fumble. It's Kevin Hester Jr. jumping on top of Kye Robichaux after jumping on top of the ball after Robichaux coughed it up.
It was a good sound hit too. C-ball, hit ball. Woo.
Potential turning point moment right here.
Wow.
Will Hardy delivered the contact on Robichaux.
Junior 6'2", and he brought all of that 205.
See if the Tar Heels can capitalize offensively. From midfield, The give to Hampton. He's got nowhere to go. And he muscles for about 6 when it should have been about 2.
Looks like J.J. Johnson is limping off the field. It's not good, especially he's been pretty good running some great routes for them. Jones, excuse me, I'm sorry.
So they give Hampton 6. We got 14 and change to go, but time has to be a factor. Tar Heels down by 3 scores, and Criswell loses a bunch. Joe Marinaro creating the pressure in the backfield. What a story Joe Marinaro has become from Wayzata, Minnesota.
Holding. Offense, number 53. That penalty is declined. Second down.
I mean,
Correct.
these stories in college football, walk on to captain to starter. BC closing in on bowl eligibility behind Joe Marinaro's passion for this game.
I didn't think that was a holding by Willie Lampton. Pretty darn good block.
Declined the penalty regardless. The sack makes it 3rd and a long 10. Criswell completes it short of the line to gain to Copenhaver. KP Price keeps him about 2 yards shy of the sticks.
That was the first pass he's thrown 4 quarters that was actually on time. He went through his progression, stuck his foot in the ground, and threw the ball on time. Great job.
Zipped it there too. All right, Hampton, 4th and 2. He's got the first down and more. Hampton down to about the 27-yard line. Another tackle for Price, but a big carry, biggest of the day, in fact, for Hampton.
It's a great job. Little zone read going off to the right. Hampton keeps going, reads off his block. Very good job.
Only Tar Heel touchdown came on the 95-yard kickoff return from Chris Culliver. Tar Heels have not been in the red zone yet today. Now, this is interesting. Paysor left early, but it was after the BC defensive end was into the neutral zone. Now the question is, did he get back?
He was a little early. His reaction was late.
False start. Offense, number 13. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Mac Brown not pleased. Nothing's going to change though, and it'll become 1st and 15. Clock ticks under 13 minutes. Kobe Criswell runs out of time, gets rid of it, throws it away, it's intercepted. Here comes Ryan Turner down the sideline. Turner is gonna go all the way. That's the knockout punch here in Chestnut Hill today.
Just throws it up for grabs. You talk about making all the right decisions, being smart with the football, panics, and throws the football to a wide open corner, sitting in zone coverage.
On first down as well.
After an explosive run, you're moving the football pretty well, and you go out there and do that. It just takes a little bit of momentum away from what you've been hoping for that you haven't gotten over the last 3 quarters.
Neto Akpala with the pressure on Criswell, and he just tosses a can of corn to Ryan Turner, who takes it the distance. 78-yard pick 6.
A can of corn?
It's like a little fly ball. He's just waiting for it. Like a routine center field grab at Fenway Park.
I like it.
Ryan Turner. Once he got by that lineman, he was all the way.
You talking about Los Angeles? We just won a world championship. I'm a Dodgers fan.
That's
sorry.
true. It was phenomenal to see the Yankees lose, I'll tell you that. However, does not get the chance to return this one. Let's check in with Mike Gann back in the studio. Hey, Mike. Pony up, SMU seemingly on their way to the ACC title game. Now the Miami Hurricanes are not exactly demolishing the Demon Deacons the way I expected them to. That game's 20-14 with about 10 minutes to go in the fourth.
So you're saying we got a chance?
We'll see. Criswell throws it away. Let's go back to the interception, Steve.
Okay.
I don't know what Criswell was thinking on this throw.
Well, they're sitting in zone coverage. This is a cover 2. He starts to panic. That's one of the things watching the film. He goes to his first progression, is not there, get a little rush, and all of a sudden he just throws it up. Not being smart. Sometimes these lack of experienced quarterbacks, they get in situations like this and they panic and try to just throw the football away. Can't do it.
Davion Goss with his first touch out of the backfield, and again, it's Joe Marinero having himself a day for Boston College.
Yes, he is. They're trying to get the ball moving, North Carolina, and just haven't found an answer yet.
Dare I say Romanowski-esque with the eye black and the intensity?
I can see the thought.
Got some good linebackers here at BC through the years.
I'm just not keen on getting Marinero that.
You're not going to compare him to Luke Kuechly quite yet either?
No, not even close.
Griswell on third down, plenty of time, but hit as he throws, and that's over the head of Christian Hamilton. And the punt team looks like it's returning to the field. Hey, what was Kuechly like as a teammate?
Oh, he was outstanding. He didn't even get cable television in his apartment till I think his 7th year in the league.
What?
He just lived at the facility, meaning he studied film. When he got home, he studied film. He didn't even have it. And then when he actually got cable, he sent them to his old address to hook up the cable. Because he's just so not used to it.
McGinnis booms it away. Fair catch called for by Ferris. He'll make it at the 36. Boston College leading 34-7 from the south has not ever looked comfortable at really any point in the game. BC marched it down the field on the opening possession. They settled for 3. It's a big kick by Liam Connor back in the first quarter, but a drive that took about 7 minutes off the clock. That set the tone. Carolina has never had the counterpunch.
Carolina's been struggling offensively and defensively for the remainder of the game, and I would imagine BC is just going to keep going. They put in McDonald. Looks like Ward is done for the day.
Last week, Amarian Hampton becoming the 3rd different Tar Heel with 3 different 200-yard games. So far today, he's been held to 53 yards. Barring something here in the last 11 minutes, Carolina's going to be without a 100-yard rusher for the first time all season.
Wow.
I believe Boise State is the only team in college football with a 100-yard rusher every single game. The Heisman contender, Ashton Jeanty.
That's a heck of a running back right there as well. Doing a great job.
You ever play in Boise?
I played on the Smurf turf,
yeah.
Yes. I've played on that turf. It's pretty good. They get real loud in Boise.
I bet. That's Jude Bowery jogging off the field, replaced by Kevin Klein, grad student from Boca Raton, Florida. This is not Boca Raton weather, but it could have been a whole lot worse. I mean, last couple of nights here in Boston, rainy and gross. It was rainy and gross this morning, but the rain subsided. Just been chilly and windy. James looking for Harris again. Double coverage. We get a flag. They're going to get Huzzy for the PI. How about the Eagles continuing to air it out, up 27 here in the fourth?
Yeah, there was isolation right there, and then you had safety over the top as
Pass
well.
interference. Defense, number 28. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
As he's shaking up a little bit right now, looks like he got his leg tangled with the receiver. Ooh.
You know what else BC has done really well today? They've neutralized Kamen Rucker, who we've rarely mentioned. And he's the best defensive player for the Tar Heels, number 7. Mac Brown's defense has allowed just about 60 rushing yards per game the last 4 games that Rutgers played. Today, BC's close in and on 200. They're at 178 rush yards, 192 passing yards, outgaining the Tar Heels 370 to 103. Huzzy slow to get up, coming off season high 8 tackles last week against Wake Forest. And a punt return touchdown back in the Georgia Tech game.
He's a pretty good player too, so
Sure
I would expect BC to also look at this opportunity to maybe take a hit down the field in the passing game, because the guy that's coming in most likely has been sitting on the sideline cold.
Guy that might take a shot to is on the sideline as well, Harris. So it's the big package formation. Saw Ozzie Trapillo there on the huddle. It's Ozzie's dad, Steve, late Steve Trapillo, who was on that 84 team. He lifted up Doug Flutie in the seconds after the Hail Mary. Flutie says he doesn't even remember that moment. Ooh, big hit from Stick Lane, but McDonald able to keep his feet, and the Eagles still pushing.
Wow, that was a fantastic run.
Mac Brown said this week, Steve, whichever team is the toughest, longest is going to win this game. There is no doubt who has played the tougher game so far today through 50 minutes.
Stick Lane comes up high. McDonald stays low, center of gravity, and keeps going.
Morales with a little bit of a cheap shot at the end there. He got away with it. These last 3 games, it just, for whatever reason, clicked when Grayson James took over. The second half of that Syracuse game, replacing Tommy Castellanos. Castellanos said, "See ya." And the Eagles just kept on chugging without him. The offense, in rare form. Donald upended, but he takes it down to the 24. Time continues to tick off the clock. Franklin a little shaken up.
They're in scoring position right now. Looks like 11 personnel is out on the field, 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end. North Carolina seems to look like they're in man coverage. They're blitzing.
That'll be another first down for the Eagles. I know it depends on the situation, but generally, what was your favorite personnel group when you were playing?
I like 11 personnel. Had an outstanding tight end, Greg Olson, who can run every route on the route tree as a tight end. Myself, Brandon LaFell, a number of guys that were out there that were capable of running different routes, and that's one of the things that we pride ourselves on. But right here, when you're right here on the 22-yard line, 23, condensed formation, you want to see if you can get an opportunity to catch a pass as well, since you're up so much.
This time it's Robichaux. A forceful run through the contact provided by Marcus Allen. Take a look at this play through our Ace Ump Cam coming at you.
Pretty good run.
Did you know Greg Olson would be a fantastic color commentator when you were playing with him?
I had no idea. I think he's one of the best guys out there.
Yeah.
He's fantastic.
There's something in the water, though, down in Charlotte, because you're not so bad yourself, Mr. Smith.
Oh, thank you. You tell everyone that.
I will. Evan Leffler, Steve Smith Sr., Carla Gebhardt here in Chestnut Hill to witness this one-sided Boston College dominant performance. And this has got to be really disappointing for the Tar Heels, especially in the wake of the 3-game winning streak. News story coming out, I believe, on Wednesday. Mack Brown has no plans to quit. He's the oldest coach in FBS, but he says anytime he's frustrated, you know, by the transfer portal, NIL, he goes and eats with the kids. His calling in life is picking them up or bringing them down when they're too high. You know, he has really done a great job this season handling the masterclass of adversity that they've endured.
There's no game plan for some of the injuries and the outcomes that they've had thus far, but you need a guy that understands and has the experience of handling success, but also disappointment. And Mack Brown has seen a lot of that. And what I believe why he's taken the approach to say, hey, I have no plans, is also say, hey, in this day and age, most coaches leave and find a way to say, hey, this isn't very good, but he's sticking with his guys.
This is a direct snap to Robichaux.
Wildcat.
And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Eagles.
They run Wildcat formation. That's a run just of will and saying, I want to get into the end zone.
What a performance from Boston College. And Bill O'Brien's team is going Bolden. Tough yardage from Robichaux all day long. He's up to 93 rushing yards on the day. Another smooth kick from Liam Connor. Who saw this coming? 41-7. Domination here on CW Football Saturday, presented by Verizon. Let's take a look at today's game summary presented by Pacific Life, creating financial security for over 150 years. BC's defense really set the tone for this game, Steve.
BC's defense is setting the tone, making the quarterback make mistakes, making him uncomfortable. He's back there dodging, throwing the ball up for grabs, and Ryan Turner catches a 78-yard interception for a touchdown.
Only score of the day for Carolina from this guy, Chris Culliver. No chance to return that one. Wobbling ball in the wind. Tar Heels from their own 25, down 41-7. Well, this Tuesday, NXT brings a double dose of action with both the men's and women's North American titles on the line and 2 massive Iron Survivor qualifying matches. Don't miss an all-new NXT Tuesday, 8/7 Central, right here on the CW. Criswell still in there. He's 12 for 23 for 100 yards. He's been intercepted 3 times. Davion Goss hit hard, picks up 8.
Goss in, but Hampton's nowhere to be found.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, give the young guys some reps.
Yeah.
Save your biggest weapon for NC State. And it has been a few years since the Tar Heels have gotten the better of the Wolfpack in a game that is so huge down in the triangle. Ace Umpcamp here.
Really good run. Then Willie Lampkin blocking pretty good. He's a guard. Very promising.
Pressure on Criswell, provided by Ezeraku. I mean, Steve, you know as well as anybody, in football, week to week, the mood can shift considerably, you know, in the locker room, but also the fan base. And if Carolina, after the 3-game winning streak, finishes their season with a performance like this, and then if they can't beat the Wolfpack next week, then the vibes in Chapel Hill are not exactly warm at that point, to say the least.
But they understand what's going on, and they also understand that Coach Mack Brown has had to deal with a lot of adversity. It's not like they don't have a good team. It's the team they have is riddled with injuries and unforeseen circumstances.
Juan Williams, Eagle defensive lineman, is slow to get up. He heads to the sideline under his own strength. Shout out to this BC defensive line led by Ezeraku, George Brooks there in the nose. Davion Crouch has been all over the place today. Again, Tar Heels just set up the screen for Goss. He's got some space. And a nice tackle from Omar Thornton. They got a player in this number 30, freshman from Fort Lauderdale.
He can play. Great job of catching the ball, getting downfield, trying to move the ball down the field.
30 minutes from now, the Citadel taking on Clemson. Tom and Max are standing by. Tigers win today, which certainly you would expect them to. It'll be their 14th straight 9-win season, which would tie Florida State from 87 to 2000 as the 3rd longest stretch of 9+ win seasons in FBS history.
Wow, that's pretty good. Great company right there.
Indeed. Copenhagen can't hang on, and it'll be 3rd down.
In a game like this, you got to throw the football. That's where the defense pins their ears back. However, I would believe also with Criswell, this is an opportunity for him to show their next opponent, NC State, that he can actually throw the football and go through his progressions. Because right now, he hasn't done a great job of doing that. And he's had a little bit of happy feet, not sitting down, going through his progressions all the way.
Low snap here. Criswell completes it. Kobe Paysour ripped out of bounds down near the 15.
Good catch. Goes a little slant. Great job catching the ball, going down the field. Receiver probably should have switched the ball into his right hand and gave him an opportunity to be more comfortable so he can maybe throw a move and try to score.
36 yards, easily the biggest play of the day for UNC. And back into the hands of Phillips. 3rd catch of the season for the redshirt freshman from Virginia.
Hurrying up, trying to score some points.
Second down from inside the 10. Now it's third down from the 8.
One of the issues you have right now when you're down 41-7, you're down to your third-string quarterback.
You've got a lot of issues.
You have a lot of issues, but you also, here's one of the biggest issues you have. You don't have a lot of plays you can pull from that you feel confident that he will be able to execute to just show you what you could possibly do next week.
On 3rd and 5, Criswell pulls it down, takes off, gets very close to the line to gaining. I think this is going to be a first down. Cameron Martinez brings down Criswell.
They got a guy on the sideline over there rolling around.
And it's Martinez who made the stop.
Well, that's not good if Martinez is down. They're already down. A few other guys. Brown is out. Tucker's out.
Yeah, Martinez has been in the mix at corner today. He's often played nickel this year behind Johnson. Not a guy that BC wants to lose. Eagles have another big one next Saturday right here on the CW. And, you know, the Eagles coming off this win, taking on a Pittsburgh team that has slid a little bit as the season has progressed, but they still have a lot of toughness and talent in the Steel City.
Always a tough matchup. And it's going to be a good game.
Sure is.
Question of the day. I have it for you. You ready?
Okay.
Will it be a sunny or dreary day?
Well, time will tell. You know, in Massachusetts, Thanksgiving Day high school football is a massive deal.
They play high school?
They play rivalry. Usually your last game of the year, unless you make the playoffs, is your rivalry game Thanksgiving Day. I have a lot of memories growing up in Massachusetts, going to my school's high school football game.
Is it like midday?
It's usually like 10 or 11 a.m.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. So you gotta get up early.
So mom can still cook.
Yes.
Or grandma's cooking Thanksgiving. And then you go watch the football game, high school. Then you watch a little bit of college maybe, and then you have the NFL.
So not to make this about myself, but I grew up in Sharon, Massachusetts.
Okay.
And Sharon's rival was Oliver Ames in Easton. And high school quarterback Jason Case played for Sharon. His first cousin, good buddy Adam Case, was the quarterback for Oliver Ames in Easton. The cousins battled on Thanksgiving Day football and then had Thanksgiving dinner after the game.
Oh, wow.
North Carolina is in the end zone. It feels like an afterthought, though, because it makes the score 41-13 with 2:09 to play. Take the view from the Ace ump cam.
Good job, running back, pumping his legs. Great finish. That's what you want to see. No matter the score, you want to see a guy still keep going, trying to get in that end zone.
The irony, of course, both you and I now live in North Carolina, and it's been a tough day for the Tar Heels here in Chestnut Hill.
Yes, it has.
Noah Burnett has just been trying to stay warm on the sidelines. Knocks the extra point through, 41-14 with 2:09 to play. Is Carolina even bothered to try an onside kick here?
I was just about to ask you. You know, it's a tough one because if you don't do the onside kick, do the people on the outside say you're giving up? But then if you do the onside kick, what's the possibility of you? What is this score going to do?
Yeah, and if the score is 21-17 in the fourth quarter against NC State next week, do you want to practice the onside kick or do you want to save your onside kick potentially for next week? I don't know.
That's a great question. There's a lot of dilemmas. But we do know they ain't getting any benefit for onside kick right now. It's 41-14.
Really impressive, dare I say, professional performance from Boston College today. I mean, they came out, were all business, marched down the field the opening possession, and have just played a really smooth, crisp football game. Grayson James missed a couple of receivers short. He wasn't perfect, but he was pretty darn good.
Good enough. poise.
Running tandem of Robichaux, McDonald, James, Montague, and Ward go for over 200 yards rushing. No onside kick. Today's Player of the Game brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Save when you bundle auto, home, and motorcycle insurance. Visit progressive.com. Grayson James in his third start as an Eagle, about to get his first ACC win at the helm of this BC offense.
Great pass. Harris throwing a great pass. It's great to see these guys get excited for each other.
Going to add some yardage. This is Darryl Jones, his first carry of the day. First carry since the Duquesne game back in September. All smiles in Chestnut Hill today. 41-14.
Broke down and the pressure got to him. He didn't panic. He stayed calm and collected, threw the ball away when he needed to, but then also used a lot of audibles to get them in and out of bad plays. But he just poised, did a really good job.
Bill O'Brien still coaching. Bo Atkinson, excuse me, makes the stop on Jones. BC, Pittsburgh next Saturday. Eagles can get to 7-5.
Coach tell him go downhill. Stop bouncing it out. Go downhill. Let's eat up this clock. Don't sit there and bounce it outside. If we wanted outside, we would have called it outside run.
Jones to the 33. No need for a Hail Mary today, but certainly the 84 team that's back here today, enjoying the Eagle vibes. Grayson James just chilling, smiling, handing it off. Clock ticking under a minute. And they're gonna probably take this to the end of the play clock, call a timeout and kick it away.
One of the cool things, they're playing North Carolina. That's where you and I live, in Boston College. Fun fact, my son name is Boston.
How about that?
Named after the city, too.
I'm not totally certain that that's totally accurate, but you would know better than me. But I also know you well enough to know that you like to mess with folks. Citadel and Clemson, about 12 minutes from getting you to Death Valley, where Tom Brenneman and Max Brown are standing by. What a run for Cade Klubnik to knock off Pittsburgh. Now the 8-2 Tigers look to get to 9-2 today before their rivalry matchup with the South Carolina Gamecocks next weekend. Palmetto State showdown, and the Gamecocks have had a really good year too. It's going to be a heck of a ball game.
All these Carolina teams fighting for that bowl position and opportunity to keep playing late in December and January.
Imagine if Carolina had finished off Wake Forest last week, then they'd be 5-6 going to the game. They're going to keep it here on 4th down. Game's going to come up short, so 25 seconds left. North Carolina will take over, and we'll see if Mac Brown wants to do anything other than take a knee. But yeah, Carolina knows they're going bowling for the 6th year in a row, and that's no small feat.
No.
But Mac Brown also says that's not the goal for this program, just to get to a bowl. Certainly doesn't look like they're going to take a knee. Criswell's out there along with 3 wide receivers and the tight end Copenhaver. Goss alongside Criswell. 25 seconds. Is it worth mentioning the Tar Heels have 3 timeouts? I'm not sure. Copenhaver's open to the 30, to the 25, to the 20, to the 15, and down at the 11-yard line.
Get a timeout going, see if they can try to end this game with a score. That'll be good.
Making the final stat disparity a little bit more cosmetically pleasing. Davion Goss.
Oh, got in.
Touchdown, Tar Heels. with 9 seconds to go. But the outcome today has long since been determined.
Good job of how to end the game on a positive note. You're going to get coached up this week, so you want to see some positive things. Give these guys an opportunity to show that there's no quit in them. It's a great job.
Third rushing score of the season for the guy they call Bullet, Davion Goss. Garnett makes it 41-21 with 9 seconds left. So after today, Boston College will clinch its bowl berth for the 8th time in the last 9 years. Curious to see what Bill O'Brien can do. I mean, he came in February, so all these players were here. And now he's finally get to bring in some of his guys for his system and really build this program to the identity that he envisions.
16 players had transferred that were coming here, and Bill O'Brien was not the head coach.
Right.
Now he's the head coach. He's been able to do some things with players with the other coaching staffs envisioned. So when he gets a full year and getting the type of transfers or high school players that fit his system, it'll be great to see how many points will a 41-point game be something we can look forward to. And I don't think you can say that about Boston College, but Bill O'Brien gives you that opportunity. Smart, offensive-minded coach, loves on these kids and wants to teach them. If you want to play on Sundays where I've been, I can give you that opportunity.
Yep. Most points this season for BC, except for the 56-0 win against Duquesne. But arguably today's performance was more impressive. Fair catch taken by Jaden McGowan, and BC is one more snap away from officially clinching another month of practice and a bowl destination. And Bill O'Brien mentioned that to us yesterday in his office. And it'd be big for us to get that extra month of work.
Extra month of work, not just for the game, but also for his young players, some of his freshmen, some of his guys that they can help develop and get coaching, because once the season's over, they don't have the opportunity to coach him up and do some of those things.
Grayson James takes a knee, and that will do it. Boston College, in the 126th year of the program, just won its 700th game all time. And the Eagles are going bowling with a 41-21 rout over North Carolina.